Hello, welcome back to that was very high pitched, hello. Welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. We normally try and vary the output so that we're not doing the same sort of puzzle every day, 2 days in a row. But this came up as a possible for me today, and I really enjoyed doing yesterday's region sum lines puzzle. And I'm going to have a go at another one today. And there we go. That's what it is. Maybe I'll even have improved based on my performance yesterday from having learned something about region sum lines. We will see. I doubt that. But anyway, this is by Mr. Menace, a fantastic constructor. Dutch, I believe, but he's created many, many superb puzzles, including in one of our apps, or maybe even more than one of our apps. So definitely featuring in the Approachable Sudoku app, the more recent one. Do check that out, and there are some great puzzles there. We've also, of course, got more apps like the Fog of War Sudoku app, and lately our Sudoku Worms by Marty Sears and James Sinclair. Just hold off for a day on the Marty Sears one. We're doing some rule clarifications to make sure that the rules are understandable, and I'd say if you haven't ordered it already, get it tomorrow. And if you have already got it, re-download it tomorrow and check the rules out. Hopefully they'll be a little clearer for the people who didn't quite grasp what they were saying. We had some slight changes to try and standardize the rules across the puzzles, but they made it a little harder to understand as you did each puzzle how the values worked. Anyway, that should all be fixed in a day. What else have we got coming? We've got we've got a current Sudoku hunt on Patreon. That's the Yin Yang Journey by Itch.io, and that is brilliant. Loads of clarity there and some absolutely fabulous puzzles. Do check that out. Join us on Patreon. There's a connections video that needed a correction too. The first one that went up had 2 editions of the same day instead of an extra day. So check that out on Patreon if you already saw the first version. Do join us on Patreon. It's a great puzzle club. There's loads of Sudoku and connections and crosswords too. There will be the hard crossword for the month coming up in a day or two there as well. What else have we got? We've got our merch and SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. Check the links under the video if you're interested. The first link is to this region sum line puzzle. No, there's an extra rule in this one which I hadn't noticed. So it's not just a straight region sum line puzzle, and I apologise to Mr. Menace for suggesting that it might be. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Box borders divide each blue line into segments which have the same sum. And therefore those 2 digits add up to the same as those 3. But there's an extra rule that is that digits on a line may not repeat. And that didn't apply yesterday. That's going to apply today. Big waves are coming. Let's see how we get along with those waves, and let's get cracking. So, how do we use that rule first and foremost? This line is interesting. This has got 4 2-cell segments that all add up to the same. Oh, it's not that interesting, in fact, because there are 3 different n possibilities for the number that each segment adds up to, even without repeats. They could be 9, 10, or 11. If they were 9, the digit not used would be 9. If they were 10, the digit not used would be 5. And if they were 11, the digit not used would be 1. This line is made up of dominoes too, 2-cell segments again, and so is this one. Oh, I don't know. Where do we start? Let's have a look. This one is also dominoes, actually. So, as well as 11, 10, and 9, these ones could add up to 8 or 7 as well in each segment. This line has a 1-cell segment, a 2-cell segment, and a 3-cell segment. So maybe this is the place to go. This digit is 6, 7, 8, or 9. In fact, These cannot be 1, 2, 4 because of the given digit, so 7 has been ruled out. These are either 1, 2, 3 for a 6, 1, 2, 5 for an 8, or if it's 9, they're either 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 6. Now, I've just worked out this can't be a 6 because there would be a repeat digit between that segment and that segment. I mean, the simplest way to see that is you couldn't make 5 different digits add up to 12. Now, if that's an 8, this is 2, 6, and this is 1, 3, 4, and that's impossible because of the 4. Okay, so that's a 9. This pair is not 4. This pair is not 2, 3, 4. It's either 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. It's got a 1 in it. And that 1 can't appear in the 2 cell segment, just like 4 can't. So this is either 2, 7 or 3, 6. And therefore, well, there are some digits that can't be here because 2 or 6 must appear there. Oh no. Ah, hang on. If this was 1, 2, 6, that would rule out both 2, 7 and 3, 6 here. So this is not 1, 2, 6. Right. There's our start. This is 1, 3, 5. This is now not 3, 6. This digit, I was going to say it's a naked single. It's not quite. It sees 1, 3, 5 and 4. It sees 2, 7 and 9. It's either 6 or 8. This one could also be 9. Right, these two digits are selected from 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. If they were 2, 6, what could you put here? Nothing is the answer, because you couldn't use 1, 3, 5, 2 or 6 with this repeated digit rule. Sorry, I was just having another look at this line and wondering if this 9 that we've placed told me anything about it. It doesn't tell me enough. Because 9 can still appear on this line in one of those 2 cells. Well, okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, let's go back to thinking about this. Oh, the 2 that isn't there must be on this line. Right. And we've just ruled out 2, 6 as a possibility, because this can't be 1, 7 or 3, 5, and it couldn't repeat 2, 6. So 2, 6 is ruled out. If this was 2, 7, this would have to add up to 9 without using 1, 2, 3, or 5, and there is no way. So it's not 2, 7. Can we get this going one more time? If this was, oh, never mind, that's a 2, 6, 8, 9 quad, and this is a 7. Wow, that's weird. Now, let's check it though. If this was 2, 8, this couldn't use 1, 2, or 3 and would be 4, 6. If this was 2, 9, this would add up to 11 without using 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 9. I think it would be 4, 7. So this is either 4, 6 or 4, 7. Now, which line do we move to next? And I don't know the answer. I do know that one of these is a 6, I suppose. I don't think that really helps. We have to try and get onto another line. Oh, hang on. 8 is now in one of those 2 cells and one of these 3. Right. I'm going to have a quick think about this pair of digits, which either adds up to 9, 10, or 11. No, it's not narrowed down enough to be helpful. Right, either 9 is on this line and in one of those cells, or this line contains 4 dominoes, each adding to 9. Then these would also add up to 18. I feel like we've done something and it hasn't really advanced the cause very much. 9's in one of those cells. 9's in one of these three. No, it's not. 9 is in one of those 4, and that's a significant difference. This line doesn't look very helpful. This one doesn't look very helpful. I haven't really thought about 2 versus 3 there either. It just doesn't feel... I can't find the weak spot in the puzzle at all. Maybe the big waves are coming in the future. Okay, let's think about this again. Now, if n was 11, that would be a 9-2 pair. Sorry, I may have to take this. Excuse me a second. I'm sorry. No, I didn't have to take that. That was a ridiculous scam call. Okay, if that was an 11, that would be 9-2. I don't know. Does that... I don't see what that does. Okay, maybe I do. It would make that one a 2, because 2 in this box, which couldn't be there by Sudoku and couldn't be on the line, would have to be in one of those two. So if the n on this line is 11, we've got 9 there and 2 there. If the n on the line is 10, this is the 9-1 pair. One of these is then a 2 with an 8. I don't know. I don't know what that does. No, I don't. I'm not sure at all where I'm meant to be going with this puzzle. 9-2. Let's just recalibrate some thinking. These pairs, I don't know what they mean. They could be a low total or a high total. There's not some algebra that we can do, is there? All of those are sort of 2-cell dominoes adding up to whatever orange is, 9, 10 or 11. Those are all 2-cell dominoes. I can't imagine there's any algebra here. I'm sorry, I'm desperately trying to come to some sort of conclusion or some point of where we could achieve anything. I don't know, these pairs even, if they added up to a low number, we'd be ruled down to a few things there, but why would it have to be a low number? I suppose the most it could be is 13 on one of these lines, because 39 is the maximum total for 6 different digits. Is that the point? 13 is still it leaves a lot of leeway between the minimum of 7 and the maximum of 13 for each n piece. The same's true for green, somewhere between 7 and 13, and for orange, somewhere between 9 and 11. I don't know. This was doable. Nothing else has looked remotely approachable in this puzzle yet. Oh, I'm on the verge of ruling out that the orange segments can add up to 9, because which one of them could be 2, 7? Not that one, it breaks that. Not that one, it breaks that. Not that one, it breaks that. So this would be 2, 7. So if this is a 9 segment line, these are 2, 7. If it's an 11 segment line, they're 2, 9. Now, if it's a 10 segment line, where does 2, 8 go? It doesn't go here because of the 2. could go here, I think, with 7 there, 6 there. And similarly, it could go here with 7 there and 6 or 9 there. So my efforts to force 2 into this cell have founded on the possibility of orange being a 10 segment line. Now if it was a 10 segment line, this couldn't be 9, 1 or 2, 8, it would be 4, 6 or 3, 7. The 9, 1, oh, if it's a 10 segment line, this is 9, 1. So we have actually ruled this down to either 9, 1, 9, 2 or 2, 7, depending on whether it's 9, 10 or 11 that we're looking for as the total. Well, I mean, okay, that's a tiny bit of something. Now this digit, where does that go in box 4? It doesn't go on the line again, and it doesn't go in these cells, so it goes in one of these two, and it's therefore not 2. It could be 9, because it could go there. If it's not 9, this is 1 or 7. Four in this box, either on one of these strands or sitting there. If it was sitting there, this would have to be a 9. But then I don't know whether this would be 9, 2 or 9, 1. I mean, at least something got done. It's very hard to see where to attack still. I mean, I'm sort of seeing that neither of these segments can have an 8 on. I just don't know if that's... Oh, what did this have to be? 1, 9, 2, 7 or 2, 9. Does that impact this domino? Not enough. Definitely not enough. If that was 1, 9, 2, 8 would have to appear on one of these segments. And then the other one would be 3, 7 or 4, 6. And this would be 3, 7 or 4, 6. And this digit would see all of... Okay, this digit does see all of 9, that domino, and that domino. So it's either a digit not on the orange line at all, in which case it's 1 or 5, or it's that digit. So now this can only be 1, 5 or 7. Because this digit sees all of those digits on the orange line. The only digit on the orange line it can be is that one. And the only digit that can't be on the only other digit it can be is the one not on the orange line, which would make it 1 or 5. Now, if it was 1, this would be a 9-2 pair, and that would be a 2. 2, 1, 7. This digit is very similar, actually. Again, it sees all of those and that. This is either the digit not on the line, not on the orange line, or it's that one. And it can't be 9 or 2. So again, it's 1 or 7, or the digit not on the line. So I'm going to extend that to include 5. Now 4 has to be on this line somewhere, because it's not in that cell. We've got a 4 here. So 4 is on this line either with 5, 6 or 7 to make up a total of 9, 10 or 11. And that is going to leave 2, 3, and 8, which are either both going to occupy, either two of them are going to occupy one of these lines, or two of them are going to occupy these two cells, and the other one will go on a line. So 4 is in one of these cells, along with 5, 6, or 7. If it was 4, 5, that would be 1, 7. That doesn't work somehow. I think that doesn't work. If this was 4, 5 and that was 1, 7, then this would be the 7, 2 pair. And the 1, 8 pair couldn't exist anywhere. So this is not 4 going with 5, and this is not a 9 line in orange, and this is not a 7, 2 pair. This is either 1, 9 or 2, 9. There is no 7 there. There is a 9 in one of those cells. Okay, that's interesting. So 4 could go with 7. No, is that the one I just ruled out? No, I didn't. I ruled out 4 going with 5. 4 could go with 7, which would leave 1, 5 here. Then this other thing here would have to be a 3, 8 pair to make 11. So you'd have 4, 7 and 3, 8 in either order, 2, 9 there, and this would be 5, 6. And that doesn't work either, because this would be 1, 7, but one of these lines would be 4, 7. So the 11 combo doesn't work. So 10 is the orange N. Wow, that's hard to see. And this is a 1, 9 pair. This is a very different puzzle from yesterday, by the way. This is the 1, 9 pair on the 10 line. One of these is 4, 6. The digit not on the line, that has to be one of these. Well, you can't, 7 is in one of these cells, so neither of these are a 7. That's a 1, 5 pair. This is not 2, 8. The 2, 8 is up here along with the 4, 6. That's a 3, 7 pair. That's a 3, 7 pair. Here we go. These are all even. They are 4, 6 or 8. This one can't be a 4 on this line down here. Now, one of these is 2, 8 and forces a 7 below it. One of the other one is 4, 6. I don't know how to use that. There's a 1 X-wing between there and there, so the 1 in column 3 has to go here. There's my second digit in the puzzle after a long, long time. Then there's going to be a 1 down here somewhere. Now, what are these going to be? I feel like they're going to be 3, 5. I don't know. That's just randomly plucked from nowhere. If this was 2, 8, that's 7, 6. Then I've got 3, 4, and 5 available up here. If this is 6, 4, that's an 8, but then we're selecting from 2, 3, 5, 7. And there's a lot of possibilities. Oh, goodness. 1, 9 was there. So this pair can't have a 1 or a 9 on. Does that mean anything? If this was if yellow's N was 6 or 7, this would have to have a 2 in it. It would be 2, 4 or 2, 5. But if yellow's N is higher than that, then there are alternatives. Although actually if it's 8, it still has a 2 in it. It's 2, 2, 6. It should be 7 or 8 I was concentrating on, 2, 5 or 2, 6. If yellow's N was 9, It's just very doable, and if yellow could have an N of 10, 11, 12 or even 13, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I am desperately trying to get onto another line here, and maybe that's not the point. Okay, where do I place 3 in this box? That's quite simple. It's there. And there is a 3 up here somewhere. 3, 3, one of these is a 3. That can't be a 5 now, because then you couldn't get 5 into this box. In fact, what I could do is pencil mark a 5 there, and this is 1, and this is 5, and this is 1, and this is 9. And then these digits are from 2, 6, 8, and the corner can't be an 8. And there's a 5 up here now as well as a as well as a 3. And this is narrowing down a bit the options of what go on the green line. This is where 9 goes in column 2. And this pair is now a 2, 8 pair on this line that has become a 10 line. So that's a 4, 6 pair. 8, 2, 7 and 9 still have to be placed in this box. 2, 8, 7. Right, 4, 6 there is putting an 8 into this cell. And a 4, 6 pair into this one. Now, I find that interesting because I've only got 1 even digit left for the yellow cells. And I'm not going to use it on the yellow cells because if I was to put 1 even digit and 1 odd one in one of these pairs, the other one would have to have an even and an odd. And that couldn't happen. So I'm not putting the last even digit into yellow, I'm putting it in one of those 2 cells. And these are 2 odd cells adding up to an even total. And that's restricting what we can do a bit. So these 2 odd cells don't have a 7 in. The even total has to be somewhere between 8 and 12, because 7 and 13 are the boundaries of a 3 domino line. So it's 8, 10 or 12. If it's 8, this is a 3, 5 pair. If it's 10, this is a 1, 9 pair. And if it's 12, this is a 3, 9 pair. So what's the other digit here? This is maths on the box, basically. We've got 20 in the evens already. And we're either having 2 lots of 10, 11 or 12 in these cells. Have I ruled out 8? No, I shouldn't have. 8, 10 or 12. Those are the 3 options. 20 plus 2 8s is 36, then 9 would be one of these digits. So it's either 9, 7 or 5. Along with the 8 in those. That's not very helpful. Bother. If these are 2 odds and these are 2 odds, we've used up 4 of the odd digits and we can't use 2 more to make this pair. So to make an even pair, these are going to have to be 2 even digits, adding up to either, what did we say, 8, 10 or 12. Got quite a lot of even digits now turning up in columns 8 and 7. I mean, I think I'm thinking about this the right way, but I don't really know. These are from 5, 6 and 8, obviously. 3, 7, 8. These are definitely both even. These are all odd. And 1 and 3 must appear on them. Am I saying that? Because these could be 8, 9, 8, 7 or 8, 5. What was the extreme case? 12 and 12, which would be 9, 3 and 7, 5. No, I've got it wrong. Oh, bother. Okay, it's not 8, 9, 8, 7 or 8, 5 there. because we're removing 2 from each pair. So it's 8, 9, 8, 5 or 8, 1 in these. If it's 8, 1, these are 5, 7 there and 3, 9 here. If it's 8, 5, we've got 7, 3 here, 1, 9 here. 7 is definitely on this branch of the line. That is the point. That is a point of this anyway. Along with either, well, it's making up 10, 12, 10 or 8, 5, 3 or 1. And these two are both even, making up 12, 10 or 8. So 8, 4 would be 12, 2, 6 would be 8, and there are 2 different ways of doing 10. That's annoying. That's too much optionality. I didn't want it all. Okay, let's try the parity thing up here, because these 2 cells only have 1 even digit available. Now, if we were to use double odd there, we've got an even total on the line again. These 2 would have to be double odd because there's 3 evens used in the column already. I feel like these 2 would probably be double even then, but I'm not sure about that. Mind you, we've had 2 evens in the row for definite already. I am beginning to start thinking I should parity colour the whole grid, but also a bit reluctant to actually do that. Six or 8 gets used there and also here. So 6 and 8 are not available up here. The only digits available are 2, 4 and 7, along with 3 or 5. So the maximum total here is 12. That would be 7, 5. This would be either 9, 3 or 7, 5. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Goodness, progress has been made, but not enough of it and not fast enough. Where can I go? Is it this line? So 8, 3 and 7 are unavailable on this bit of this line. To be an even total, we'd either have to look at 2 digits from 159 or 2 digits from 246. And up here, what are we getting to? Somewhere between 5 and 12 as the green N. I feel like every digit between 5 and or every total between 5 and 12 is actually possible there. Oh, that's a 2-8 pair, looking at this digit. Oh, that's huge. That's a 6. This is now not 6-4. That's 2-8. This is 6-4. And this is a 7 now. Oh, it's just Sudoku. And that's a 7-8 pair. There we go. And now we can take out 2 and 7 from these cells. And we are selecting from 3, 4, 5. Right, we've narrowed green's N down to 7, 8 or 9. Now, if it was 8, that would be an odd pair. This couldn't be an odd pair because of 3 and 7 having gone. It would have to be 2, 6. So if it's 8, that's 2, 6. If it's 7, this is not 3, 4. Ooh, if it's 9, that's a 5, 4 pair. This one can't be 8, 1, 7, 2 or 3, 6. This would be 4, 5 if 9 is the N, just as that would be. if this was 8, this would have to be 2, 6. And if it was 7, I don't know. Okay, what about, okay, let's forget those, because I didn't completely pencil mark those because I didn't want to think about the third case. But if this is 7 or 9, we're going to need an even digit here. And it would be either 2, 5 or 2, 7. If it's 8, that's when we can use 2 odds. Isn't that weird? To get an even total, we're using 2 odds, but to get an odd total, we're using the one remaining even. Now, have I done anything else down here? I've taken 2 out of those cells, 7 out of those, 6 out of those, which are therefore a 5-8 pair. I don't think that's getting me much further in the bottom. That's why I wasn't really focusing much on that. How about with these 2, 8 and 4, 6? I think we're still looking to move to green. Well, these digits are from, they can't be from 3, 7, 8 or 4, 6, so they're from 1, 2, 5, 9. It's not quite getting anything done. These add up to either, well, I don't know. I think it's, I have worked this out, haven't I? It's either 8, 10 or 12. Okay, if that was 5, 4, this is also 5, 4. What are the ramifications of that happening? I don't know. Well, okay, if it was 5, 4, this would be a 2, 7 pair. Can't rule that out as far as I can see. 3. Oh, goodness gracious. 8, 3, 7. This is either 5, 4 or, okay, what was the possibility? If this was a 3, 4 pair adding to 7, that had to be 2, 5. Oh, we can't repeat on the line. Why am I in my head allowing repeats? 5, 4 was going to leave that to be 5, 4, wasn't it? Yeah, 5, 4 is impossible. This is not a 9 line because that's not allowed to be 5, 4. I'm so slow to remember the rule. Well, I mean, it's just hopeless, but never mind. Never mind, I got it now. Got it now. This can't be 5, 4. So this either adds to 8 or 7. If it's 8, then that's 5, 3. This is 1, 7, and that's 2, 6. That's definitely possible. If it's 7, that's 3, 4. This couldn't be 6, 1. That would have to be 2, 5. And this would be 1, 6. So we're always using 6 here. And that's now a 4. Now 4 is going to be in one of these 2 cells. What's this? This is either a 2, 5 pair or a 1, 7 pair. And this is either 1, 6 or 2, 6. Oh, this was either 7 or 8. It's not 9, so that's not 3. 3, 7, 8. Right. If this was a 2, 5 pair, that 2, 5 pair would both have to appear here, and they can't. They wouldn't, yeah. If that was a 2, 5 pair, they couldn't be on the green line again, and they couldn't be here. They'd both have to be here, but one of them has to be a 4, so that's not it. So this is a 1, 7 pair. The green N is 8. That's a 3, 5. This is a 2, 6. The 1 appears here with the 4. This is now a 5, 9 pair. I think we're well, let's not talk about finishing off. I've still got the yellow line and this top line to go in terms of thinking about that. But that's a 2. This is a very clever puzzle, by the way. That 8-2 pair is resolved by this 2-6 thing. Now, we can take 1 out of those cells, 8 out of this cell, and stick it in here instead. That's where 8 is in the box. This is odd. They're both odd, of course, because we're adding up to an odd total here. In fact, that's become a 7. Now, these can't both be odd anymore. I don't think they ever could, but they definitely can't now because all of those are odd. So this is a pair of even digits adding to 8, 10, or 12, I seem to remember. Eight, 10, or 12. I don't know what to do with this information. I might have to move on to this line in a moment. 2, 1, 7. 8. Well, this can't be. So the digits available are those. Let's rule out 3 because that line can't add up to 5. It also can't add up to 6 without repeating a 2. And it can't add up to 7 without repeating a 2. If this was 6, 2, this line would be 1, 3, 4 to add up to 8 without a repeat. I suppose that could happen. If this is 9, 2, oh, that 8 is looking at that digit, isn't it? There's an 8 in one of those 2 cells. Or there's also a 2 somewhere in one of those 2 now. And that's ruled out 12 as the sum on this line. A 2 being in one of those 2. So this is not a line that sums to 12. 12, 24, 44. So that's not a 1. Now I've got a 5, 9 pair in the row. And this line sums to 10 or 8. Now what's that going to let me do, if anything? 10 or 8 involving a 2 here. So it's either 2, 8 or 2, 6 in these cells. I don't know. If that's a 9, if that's a 9, this line adds up to 11 in 3 cells, and it can't use a 2 because that would be a repeat on the line. Any 3 cells adding up to 11 need a 1 or a 2 in. So whichever version of this line it is, it needs a 1 in. So the 1 is in one of those 2 cells. I mean, that's quite a difficult deduction and probably not at all helpful, but nonetheless, we have made it, and it is true. For 7 to be there, this would be a 3, 1 pair, and that would be a 9. That would be a 9. But that doesn't have to be a 7. In this row, are the odd digits doing anything? No, not really. If that's a 9, the odd digits are adding up to what? 29, 16. They're adding up to 8. So that would be a 3, 5 pair. And that would be a 7, 1 pair. And if that's a 5, they're adding up to 10. Is this always a 9? No, hang on, that can't be. If that was a 9, what did I just say? That these would be a 5, 3 pair. So if that's a 9, we go 3, 5. If that's a 5, this is a 1, 9 pair. So this is never a 3 here. And now I've got a 5, 9 pair in the row, and this digit is 3 or 7. I mean, this is all narrowing down things. I don't think it can actually end up resolving. Oh, that 8 is looking down to the bottom. That's a 2. Where's 2 going to be at the top? It's there. That must be where 8 is now. And this has got to be a 6, and this line adds up to 8. And that's going to get us home. That's going to get us home. Oh, I've been so slow over so many aspects of this, but it's so clever. So clever. Right, here we go now. Where do we go next? I mean, this line still has to be resolved. 1, 4, 3 is possible there. 5, 9, no, it's not, because we've placed 7. There it is. This now has to be a 1, 3 pair. In fact, we know the order. We're not going to get 3 in a corner. That has to be a 9. 3, 1, 7, 6, 2, 8. We placed 9 here. 4 and 5. 4 and 6 are done. They were done ages ago. 3 and 5 here. That does 5 and 8 over there. Here we've got 1 and 4. Here we've got 6 and 9 in an order to be determined by this pair. 6, 4, 6, 9. That's 7. That's 8. That's not 8. 7 determines 3 and 7. This top row, I don't know, that's 4 or 5. Oh, that 5 is sorted out. 3 and 5. There we go. Top row, easy peasy when you see it. Now, just columns 4 and 5 to do. 5, 1, 1, 4, 4, 3, 2, 6, 9, 2. And that brings the big waves to shore. What a lovely puzzle. That's so clever. Thank you so much for watching along with me, and I'm apologetic about the delays early on, especially about the bit where I forgot that no repeat lines on green would make it a lot easier than I was finding it. I don't know why it was just that bowl-shaped line that made me forget that, but there we go. Great work, Mr. Menace. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.